Hey guys, Leo here, back with another video. I'm actually up early today, wow. And I wanted to cover something really important. As you can tell by the title, we're talking about Xaid and his response. This came out last night, I believe. I was just trying to wind down a bit, but it did summarize things last night, so that'll be ready for this morning. So wow, look at me planning, right? So we can switch over to the view here. Here, former Love Letter manager and actor Zade issues formal statement and response, because from what we understand, Zade was working with them and is officially no longer on the team for any sort of work. So in this first paragraph here, we can see that he apologizes for making anyone uncomfortable. He wants to address the accusations that were made against him and his reputation. He does admit here he was flirting with another member of the project, but they were in agreement that they weren't harassing each other or they were just making each other uncomfortable. They were not. So this is very interesting. Not interesting. It's interesting because we can see that here Zade is very apologetic. You can see it much later in the post as well. He's very apologetic of what he's done. Maybe he was less aware of his own actions than he thought. So anyways, let's go down to the first paragraph here underneath that. He says that in regarding to the accusations of sexual harassment, nobody seemed to have come forward to him as a manager when issues arose of any sort. So he felt like things were smooth, things were fine. He took time out of his day to check on volunteers if they're doing all right. Make sure things ran smoothly. So I can respect that for sure. So it's just very strange that he was working hard, as he sounds like, and when there was misconduct or anything that he wasn't really talked to about, it seems. Continue on too. He did not like the way that B handled her discomfort. However, she did talk about this once, but for the most part, I felt like most kind of humor or kind of statements or jokes were appropriate. And again, this kind of comes back to the communication thing. It seems like there wasn't enough communication within the team to establish what was appropriate or inappropriate to make jokes about. And then he wants to address the first statement here, this quote by B's post here. You can read it. It says, on his first day as manager, Zaid organized a meeting for the entire team. During the meeting, the first order of business wasn't development, but how to get the game start making money. That was definitely in her post, and he responds to it, saying that he didn't start talking about having a Patreon. He thought it was a good idea eventually, but he did not intend that meeting to actually be part of it. It seems like after he mentioned it, everyone else also wanted to talk about it. And it's unfortunate for him that he wanted to speak about other points, but it seemed like it was taken over just due to actually people starting to want to talk about it. And one main reason he wanted to bring funding is to have a better quality for the game. And here he says he's a sound guy. He works with sound all the time. And any kind of content, and I can attest to this, is that if it sounds bad, you're probably not going to watch it. You're probably not going to play it. Like, I can have like this could be 4K, right? But if I don't have decent audio, you're probably going to be turned away from this, right? Like that totally makes sense. I stand with it on that as a YouTube creator. And then the next quote that he wants to address is, another actor on the team, Stan Pai, openly spoke up against Zaid on the money issue. So he actually never got along with Stan Pai. Looks like I'm very interested to actually listen to his video on that. I've not been able to. I've been much busier than I thought, trying to catch up with things as well as like kind of get out this, because I think this is very important because he felt like a centerpiece for all of this. So that's why I'm covering this. I'm not trying to minimize any of the other statements that are being made. I plan to cover those. As well as anything that is pertinent to the day. I don't remember what next one I'm doing after Kibby, but anyways, so we have here, he never liked him. So it seemed like Stan Pai criticized everyone's actions like every little bit, and it seemed like it felt like it was overwhelming negative criticism because it involved in a lot of doubt. although Zade did try to cooperate with him. I can understand the professionalism of that I actually can respect. Even if you maybe didn't like someone, you work with them, I can respect that. He made a quick statement about his past. You can find it right here. I have not been able to watch that video yet, but a lot of accusations were shown here. Again, all these are accusations. I don't know if they're true or not. I do want to watch that when I can. And Stampai knew of Zade's past. And this is interesting that apparently Stampai was using that against Zade, which is not very nice, especially when we have phrase here, calling me a verified sexual predator or deviant, even though a lot of these things happened before as a teenager or as a child, basically. Like, no offense, yeah, like, if it happened years ago, because he says at the moment he's not even 19. So I can understand his sentiments here saying that he was young and made mistakes. I can definitely understand that. Although I am very questioning about this. I'm not questioning Zade's skills, but I am questioning the decision of the development team to again bring on someone so young, just similar to the choice of I forget his name, Stan? No, not Stan. You know what I'm talking, the actor that was 16 years old at the time. So I don't know, it just sounds really weird to not vet people as much. Again, I got that same thing from V. He said that it was very easy to get in, or B even said in her statement that it was very easy to get in as well as an actor. So I just find it very strange that someone, I understand supporting indie and everything like that. It's just like, it just sounds so weird to me that at least the management team doesn't sound experienced. That's the main thing I'm worried about. So anyways, we're going to move on to quote 3 here. Zaid made me feel uncomfortable and constantly flirted with other members, such as Dr. Apius, despite me telling him that flirting made me uncomfortable. When I told him this, he said, "Well, I'm not flirting with you." I told him a story about how I felt creeped out when someone asked about my Instagram account. He told me that they just thought I looked cute, as I should be okay with random people coming up to me ask for personal information. So in that case, it looks like Zaid quickly apologized for making me uncomfortable. He feels that it was actually kind of natural for someone to ask for someone's social media. Yeah, I guess. I don't know, again, how the kids these days are doing things. I feel like an old man sometimes, a boomer, because I relatively recently, like a few weeks ago, finally understood what goat meant, because I'm like, what the heck? Why do people calling people an animal? Anyway, so I personally haven't really experienced a lot of that, where I'm talking to someone, oh, can I follow you on Instagram? Like, I Facebook friends in the past, yes. I've never really handed out my Twitter handle to anyone, or been asked about it, or asked someone about it. However, like, my career may change things, because I do have, like, my business cards that I've revealed earlier. But anyways, he feels that he thinks that B let her personal biases take over what she was thinking, and he says here that maybe B was being a bit oversensitive, but it's not his responsibility of how people react, which I definitely understand. It's kind of like where I talked about, when I talk about to friends, anything can be joked about, honestly. It's about how you take it. But then again, I can kind of take B's side here, saying that if you don't know the person and making jokes, you should maybe try to understand that more. But then again, Zaid was never given exact clear things, saying, "Oh, you should not make the jokes." But I mean, I don't know the situation. Again, I'm making assumptions about this, and just according to their statements here. And so next we go to Kibby Supreme, and I do understand this is a part that I emphasized a bit in my last video about Kibby's statement here. Zaid would tell me directly he was hoping to use Dr. Apius' project to further his own YouTube career in order to successfully live off of it. Excuse me, it's really early on, I apologize. My voice isn't 100%. I always have a little something in my throat. There we go. So, He wants to say that he's someone who actually plans quite a bit for the future. He's actually quite excited to the prospect of working on Love Letter and expressed that. But he did not actually want to use anyone for that growth. It was an added benefit of working on the project because he genuinely wanted to make content around the game on his own YouTube channel, but not expect to be part of it. So I can understand that. I understand that, I can make content around this to, grow my own career. I understand that. Absolutely. I do that every day. I've changed things. I was a gaming channel. I was then into a little bit of vlogging, and I'm still kind of growing as well. I'm still a variety of sorts. Still doing news. I do want to do, still some of the past stuff. As you can see, I did some gaming stuff, but that's past the point. I understand as a creator that you want to take advantage of situations, but he did not want to use someone. He didn't want that intention there. So I respect that for sure. And finally, now this is a response to Ren's screenshot. I'm not sure which screenshot he might be talking about. I've probably seen it, but I'm not sure which one it is. So this is a bit of a long response. So let me summarize for you again what he's trying to say here. He's not sure how he made Ren uncomfortable. He let them talk about their personal issues and give advice on that as well. It seems like here that Ren had an uncomfortable situation with a relationship in the past. I'm not going to go into it. If you want to read that, go ahead. But Ren had that, and then he acknowledged that he was giving advice, and it could be uncomfortable talking about that kind of thing. So he acknowledges that talking about relationship is bad. A bad relationship can be uncomfortable, but he doesn't know exactly what he did that made them comfortable. So I would hope that they were able to talk to each other and then resolve things. I really hope for that. Having spoken to Ren myself, I can see that they're just they also want things to go well. Again, it's a common theme. Everyone wants things to go well. So I'm hoping that this radio silence doesn't affect that. I hope that they can reach out if he's being as apologetic as he is. Like we can see in this conclusion statement, he emphasizes he does not want to make drama bigger than it should be for entertainment. Kind of ironic that I'm doing this because technically you're watching this for entertainment, but also for information, because I'm trying to get information out there. That's my main goal here. So there's no reason to pursue people and make them bad. Yes, again, similar to what V said, witch hunting is bad. Just don't do it, okay? Like, just don't. It's bad. No raid, no. Just if you want to do a positive raid, all the power to you. But negativity, just stop. So it's awful that this is a statement that really resonates with me. He thinks it's awful to attack someone based on accusations alone. Yes, this is very important, especially in this day and age, where for some reason on social media, especially on Twitter, when someone is accused of something bad, it's like immediately they're guilty. No, do not ever forget that anyone is innocent until proven guilty. Do not forget that. What if it happened to you, right? Like, think about that. You would not want to look as a guilty party before you even did anything. Like, just think about that, right? That's the best way to think about things is if you want to cancel someone for just accusations, turn that inward on yourself. If you were accused of these things and just people thought you were guilty, is that bad for you? Yes, absolutely. So I'm very passionate about that for sure, because cancel culture is a huge thing. And again, emphasis on very apologetic for being uncomfortable. He has good wishes for the team and their continued work on Love Letter. I hope the best for them as well. I hope that they've reformed as a team, and that is my coverage today of Zade's statement. This is important because he is kind of a very important figure in every single story that I've done so far. So I'm happy that he's been able to make a statement, and I think can make peace with the issues that were arisen. So if you want to check other content of mine, especially other statements by other creators or the voice actors and artists, moderators, check out all my plays over here. And I'll see you guys in the next video. I don't remember who I'm covering, but I'll see you there. Boop!